Hello, it's me again. I'm in the car, and that can only mean one thing. Going on a road trip. Woohoo! This is going to be the furthest probably I'll ever do. Well, maybe not ever. Maybe one day I'll get on a plane and go somewhere else. But in the car, this is likely to be the furthest I'm ever going to go in the country. It's really... I live in the bottom right-hand corner of the UK, and where I'm going is Blackpool, which is the top left-hand corner of the UK. For those not in the UK, Blackpool is a traditional seaside village. It became very, very popular in the 19th century when we got trains and things. All the workers could go on trains for day trips and holidays, and Blackpool was an ideal location because it's located in the up in the Lancashire and Yorkshire area. I'm not actually sure what county it's in. I think it's Lancashire. Anyway, Blackpool is a very world famous resort. It's not as well, I mean, it's one of the biggest seaside towns, probably the biggest in the UK. But because it's so far away from me, it's a 4.5 hour under ideal conditions. Usually 5.5 hours, more like 6, to get to there from here. Where I've never been because it's just too far. But I have always wanted to go. I quite like a seaside town. I know that most of the ones in the UK have fallen on hard times and aren't what they used to be, but I think Blackpool was kind of holding on to a bit of its old glamour. Why are you going to Blackpool, Lee?
Continue on A134 for 13 miles.
Good question. I'm off to Blackpool this weekend. Right now it's Friday the 3rd of October, and tomorrow and Sunday on the 4th and 5th of October is Play Expo, which is a retro gaming event, which is probably the largest one of its type in the UK. Again, I've always wanted to go to this event. I am a gamer at heart, and certainly a retro gamer, and this could be exactly what I need. It's full of pinball machines and arcade games and lots of indie stuff, and they have talks. I think the most famous person going this year, not doing a talk, but he'll be there, is Romero. I think he's basically there selling autographs. But there's also a Beat the Creator challenge that you have to play him at Doom, that sort of thing. Anyway, the main reason I'm going is to meet up with people that I know and have wanted to meet up with for a long time. The first of which is one of my best friends, Richard, who years ago invited me to be part of a podcast called Ready Player 2 that he hosted. I joined that podcast, and that was kind of the thing that started all of this YouTube thing, because we used to do YouTube stuff as well as the podcast, and we made like review videos, and we did some live streaming, we did some funny stuff in VR. But Richard has been a friend for life since we met, basically, and we used to go to EGX when it was at Birmingham, and as a podcast we would all meet up there, Lewis and Ross and Elle and Richard and I. So the whole convention thing is something that Richard and I do together, and just on the off chance I messaged him a couple of weeks ago and said, "Do you fancy going?" And he just said yes, and he's bringing his son along. He's a lovely lad called Eli, and we're going to go and have some fun. But he's not the only person I'm meeting there. There are people on the Discord that are going that said they're going to come and say hello, and that'll be lovely as well. And another person is Rose Tinted Spectrum. So Rosie, or Dave as I like to call him, because that's what his name is, and I are good friends, and we help each other out on the old YouTubes. You'll see me pop up in these videos occasionally. If you look at the latest Games Master video, I'll make an appearance in that one, but I've been in a few of his videos, and He's popped up in a few of mine as well. In fact, the video that's coming out tomorrow while I'm actually at the event, so by the time you see this it will be out, the part 4 of the C64 repair series, I think it's called something like "Oh, I Did It Again." I should have gone Britney Spears on that one. I asked him to help me out with some music and he just wrote the music for me. So he created the brilliant remix bit at the beginning of that video, and that's basically made that video, taken it to a whole new level. And that's the kind of thing he does. If you don't subscribe to Rose Tinted Spectrum, you really should, because the guy's genius and hilarious. Anyway, never met him in the flesh. He's always avoided meeting me by not travelling all the way down south because he lives north of Blackpool, and for some reason that's a long way for him to say meet me at the cave where it would only take him 5 hours to get to. But he's going to Blackpool this weekend, or for Saturday at least, and we're going to meet up. So my expectations of this weekend, I'm actually, normally I'd be quite excited about something like this, but I'm pretty chill. I haven't got the butterflies about you normally get before you go to a big event, because I've got no idea what to expect. I've seen some videos on the YouTubes about the event in previous years, and it looks interesting. But I think it's one of those things where you have to be there to really experience what it's like. But what I'm hoping to get from it is a day full of playing arcade games basically, and hanging out with my mates. And it's going to be like going to the seaside again, but without the pier and everything, and all the arcade machines will be on free play and most of them broken. But I'm hoping there will be at least one of my 2 favourite arcade machines there for me to play on and show off on. I want to be able to play Choplifter on an arcade machine again. I haven't done that for a long time. That is one of my favourite arcade games ever. Sega's amazing Choplifter. The arcade version is just sublime. And another one is Gorf, which I played recently at the Northwest Computer Museum, and just had the game of my life. I got to Space General, I think, for walking up with a camera in one hand and playing it just on the hoof without any practice, or I just had a brilliant game. I went to Paul's house recently, Paul Universal Retro Boss, and we put it on his arcade machine there. He's got a main arcade machine, and we fired up Gorf on there, and I was rubbish. And I'm putting that down to the control scheme and Paul, probably. I'm blaming Paul. No, not Henry or Chrissy this time, but Paul is getting the blame for this one. But it was just totally different, and I think the only way that my brain can really engage with that game is with the proper arcade stick, which is like a flight stick with the fire button as a trigger. It's just fantastic. It works so well. So I want to play those 2, but I'm looking forward to having an explore, and I'm sure with Rosie there and Richard there, I'll be getting a good experience of their favourite games as well. But I'm going to take the camera around with me and do a little tour around the place. I'm not sure how much footage I'll get, because you don't want to be just like walking around with the camera all day. When I want to be able to experience the event as well myself. But I will. I'll do my best to get a little bit of a feel for the whole event that I can give to you. But anyway, I've now got a long journey. Actually, it's only saying 3 hours and 52 minutes. That's quite impressive. The roads must be reasonably clear. It's 5 o'clock in the afternoon. The skies are leaden. There's a tropical storm that's come over the UK, and I'm hoping it doesn't get too hairy on the road. But I've got at least 4 hours before I get to the hotel tonight. Good night's sleep, and then off to the event in the morning. Camera doing its usual job of picking up in this is like dark. It feels now. There's so little light because the clouds are so low and everybody's lights are on, but the camera makes it look like perfect daylight. Good job, little camera.
In a quarter of a mile, merge onto A14.
I'm predicting this will be the worst bit of the journey. I'm just joining the A14. And the weather is foul. It looks like the sun's trying to come out now. The last 10 minutes were really dicey. There's a lot of spray on the road. The skies have cleared. I mean, there's still a lot of water on the road and a lot of spray about, and a nice Porsche in front of me. Still on the A14, and it's saying I've got 3 hours to go, which can't be right. I don't know if it's taking me to a different place now. And just like that, it looks like the sun is kind of trying to come out. The rain has stopped. There's hardly any spray now. Yeah. I really just hope it stays like this. But I have got to drive past Manchester, which is kind of notorious for being wet, amongst other things.
It's a fine balance, isn't it? You know, you don't want to overdo the lava.
Exactly. That explosion, by the way.
Very, very weird. All the lights have just gone off on the motorway and then flashed back on. That was the freakiest thing. I swore I wouldn't come this way, but the sat-nav is insisting that I go on the M6, so there must be a problem on the other road. And this actually looks okay, but the last time I was here, I didn't have a good time.
Keep right to stay on M6.
I've just driven past the exit for Warrington, which is where I stayed the last time I was up in this area to go to the Northwest Computer Museum. So around about probably 10 minutes time, I'll be the furthest north I've been on a road trip. The journey so far has been good. It's not too bad at all. The weather was dodgy in places, but all right. Got a bit windy the further north I've got, but the rain has held off now, and I've got another 53 minutes to go.
Your destination is on the right.
Yeah, I'm here. It's 20 past 10. Not too bad. I've had worse journeys than that. I made it. Here's the room. Oh, I've got a bath. They didn't leave the telly on this time. And I can just about see my car. Excellent. Yeah, this is all right. It's not too hot, and I'm tired enough, but not wired like last time I stayed away. And I'm really looking forward to tomorrow. I just met Richard. He came down from his room to say hello. And yeah, well, I'll show you him tomorrow. My only complaint is that thing. It's really loud. Morning. Average night's sleep. Had a good breakfast though. Met up with Rich and Eli. And yeah, ready for the day. But have a look out here. It's difficult to see through the rain, but it is absolutely chucking it down. Yeah.
Head north. Turn right towards Devonshire Road, A587, then turn right onto Devonshire Road.
I think that's it.
200 yards, slide left onto Norbreck Road. Take the next left.
There, mate. Wow. It's a bit choppy. You're welcome. Sorry, thank you.
There we go, there's John. There's high score over there. Where we go? Let's try to give it a book contender number 2.
Hey, mate. Yeah, good, thank you.
I'm thinking part of the chair now. So, Oh, you can't get too high, you drop them in. So yeah.
Thank you.
I've got one of them. Yeah, that's it. Put on your video. Yeah.
So many. I mean, I really impressed. You know the stand-up song, Cowboys and Indians. Yeah. He's got that.
All right.
Sorry.
Sorry,
Sorry, mate.
and then someone put that in the rucksack. Oh my god. 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 What happened? Just unflip it. I can't do anything.
I pressed the wrong button. I don't know what finishing thing does. Yeah, dude. It's going to start it.
I'm both trying to do the special moves.
There we go. I found one.
Oh my god, how is that so scummy?
The lace beam is my favorite. Oh no!
Go on. Go on, Eli. Go on. Oh.
No.
Oh. Get in there and button mash. Hey, go on, go on, go on. Oh, you stood up into it. No, get in there, get in there.
I'm doing that. I can't grapple it.
Oh, we're put in there.
I love playing, Doom. I like it with sound better, but that was really great without sound. So yeah, really, really fun match.
Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together. John Romero!
It's really nice. Really nice.
Right, so what's going on with these two?
This is our original Vectrex, but we had LED projectors. So this one is 3D. You can see background in 3D if you want. It works really well.
Yeah. Oh my god,
Very
that's
nice.
really good.
Yeah. And you can display that with your camera. But
No.
this one has UV projectors, but that use the UV overlay you can see on the video. It's very bright.
Yeah.
And we created the same one for the Mini now.
So this one's original.
This one's original Vectrex. These have been added to the original
Right,
Vectrex.
so modified, yeah.
It's modified, and this one has been modified today to test the UV overlays on the Mini. And it works really well.
Okay.
I'm
So-
very happy.
When is it coming out, the Mini?
It's going to be on Kickstarter on the 3rd of November,
Yep.
but the Kickstarter will take 4 weeks or 40 days or about.
Yep.
And after that, I've got 10 months to make max production.
Okay.
And it's going to be a lot of work, you can't imagine.
I'm really excited. I love it.
Thank you.
Absolutely love it. I think it's a brilliant idea. Out of all of the consoles that you could have picked, this one is...
I love it too. Well, the original one is mythical now.
Yeah.
It's 40 years old, so recreated in
So
a
hard.
DVD format is very funny.
Yeah, it's so hard for us to, collectors to get these things now.
It's too difficult.
The only way that you're going to get is emulation, really.
Exactly.
So how good do you think the screen is at mimicking a...
As you can see, it's very close to the original one. Really close. It's not as bright as the original
No.
30, but we are not very far from it.
I'm loving the trench run on there.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
Star Wars.
Yeah.
Very nice game.
So, how much does it cost the Kickstarter level to get one of these?
It's going to be 149.
149.
There will be some early birds edition at 99 euros, but
Yeah,
only
quick.
for 50, and after an early bird at 129,
Yeah.
but the regular price will be 149.
And so that's going to be the retail price after the Kickstart?
No, it's going to be a little bit higher, I think, on the retail price, like 160 or 170.
Oh, no, in the ballpark then?
But the Kickstarter will be the best price you can have on the Mini.
Okay. Very good. So
I've got a lot of people that have asked me to take some video of it.
Yeah,
Really
take some
interesting.
videos, and you can now you see it in real. You can tell spread the word, but it's not too small. It's good looking.
Yeah.
And you can see
The controller comes
the
with it?
controller. Yeah, of course, the controller is very easy to use.
But you can use a USB controller as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Fantastic.
For 15 units, 129 for 220 units, and 149 is the regular price.
It's 149, and that includes the whole unit, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's a really good price.
There will be a white edition. Yeah.
That's cool.
And a black and white.
Where am I?
So you can buy both of them. Also, you can buy a second shoe. Yeah. And it will come with a logo that you can use on the original Vectrex. I think it's a good idea. Also, we're gonna make a book about the story of Vectrex. We're gonna make some T-shirts, of course. And you can, as it's going to be Wi-Fi connected,
Oh.
you can use it as a blog. it converts it to a blog. I think it's very cool to have your Vectrex on your shelf or on your desk and have it as a blog. Like the idea.
I mean, it's small enough to do there, isn't it?
Ah.
Yeah. And you know, to do that one, I need to do 36 soldering holes by hand, and it's very, very tiny. So it's not easy to make this prototype right.
Yeah, it's just the right size for not everyone has the space, don't they? Like it's a whole big whereas that will, sort of fit.
It's not very heavy.
No, it's like
Great.
that's cool. Something that we can expect.
I think everybody comes September.
Okay, so we'll have that then. Oh, it's stuff that we can ship you there.
You go from prototype to the real thing. It's another.
On second thoughts, let's not go to Camelot. It is a silly place.
Right.
Oh my God, Blackpool's enormous. The North Pier. tower on the left. Adam Two Swords. It's a huge roller coaster. I think that's it. Goodbye, Blackpool. That was fun. And as with every event that I go to, the best thing about it is the people in it. I didn't go to any of the talks. Wasn't really interested in them. There was one, Simon Phipps, I think, was there, the guy that did Rick Dangerous, created Rick Dangerous. But I've already seen his talk. I saw him at the cave. So I didn't need to see him, and there's some other guys there that were quite interesting. I saw a bit of John Romero up on stage doing the Doom challenge, and that was fun. He still knows his game, but I did find it a bit overwhelming. It was really, really noisy, and even when I was talking to people, struggling really badly to hear, because anytime there's like that kind of level of background noise, I can't hear anyone talking. I've always, it's not like something that's happened to my hearing. I've always struggled with that in like bars and things, but it's just one of those things. But I did get to spend some time with one of my best friends, Richard, and Eli, his son, and we had some cracking games of Mortal Kombat and all sorts of, played some Counter-Strike and Guitar Hero, which I was abysmal at. I used to be really good at Guitar Hero and I really sucked, but I'm putting that down to the controller. Later on I spent some time with the amazing rose-tinted Spectrum Dave and his, I don't know how you describe him. I think Ian would probably be okay with me saying Multiplayer Ian is his full online name of choice, and Multiplayer Ian is a legend as well in his own right. A really funny guy. Him and Dave together, him and Rosie Dave are hilarious, and I spent a good chunk of time with them towards the end of the day, just chatting and playing the occasional games. We played the the bongo game on, I don't even know what system it was on. I think it was the GameCube, actually. That was funny. I played that against Ian, and while Rosie was playing Duck Hunt. I'm just wondering how Google Auto Translate is going to do with Duck Hunt. And then right next to that, some people moved away and they freed up DJ Hero. I've never played DJ Hero. I always looked at that controller and thought, what's the point of that? That's just overly complicated and a bit silly, really. But that's it, you know. I'm sure people did enjoy it and had fun. And they had a setup there with 2 controllers. And it was awful. I hated it. It didn't help that my controller was broke. Yes, Ian, it was broke. That's why you won. Yeah, it was just, my throat is raw from shouting above the cacophony of noise in there. I bumped into Retro for You, Neil, and 8-Bit Retro Refix, Steve. I'm so bad with names. I really apologise if I've forgotten your name. Had a good chat with them. Taz was there. Taz Fay Dodge was there. There was one guy there who I had a nice chat with, who came up and introduced himself, and a subscriber of the channel, or one of the channels, or both of the channels, and he had lots of nice words to say. You know who you are, wearing the fedora. And at the end of the day, he took a selfie. I'm hoping he sent it to me in an email. I'll put it up on the screen. At the end of the day, he came past and said hello again, and then said what his name was, or what I should call him. And he said, it's such and such, like such and such, to remind me. Completely gone, out of my brain. And embarrassingly, Richard, who is the person that I was there spending time with, and Eli, had gone off to play some arcade games, and for some reason I thought they'd gone home. So I just left. And I got a message just as I was getting in the car from Richard to say, where are you? And I had to say, well, I'm going home now. Sorry, Rich. We did have a really good day. We had lunch, was a highlight of the day, in the Bispam Kitchen, which is a really, really nice fish and chip place. And I had the Moby Dick, which is a double size haddock and chips. Wow, that was great. A bit of a walk down. It's about half a mile from the Norbreck Castle, but well worth the walk. And it was nice. It really was nice to get out there and sit down on a table to talk for a while without having to scream to make yourself heard or keep saying pardon, because I can't hear anyone. The arcade machines that they had there were really, really good. I didn't get to play Choplift though. They didn't have one of those that I found. And they did have a Gorf, and that was broken in the morning, and well, I think it just wasn't working. I couldn't get credits on it. And then in the afternoon, I wanted to have another go. Saw it was working. People were playing it, but I was frazzled by then. My brain was fried. It's an assault on the senses. And I just wanted to go home. So I did watch someone play it for a few minutes, and he was really good. And I got to play a couple of other favourites like Bosconian and Juno First, which are really good shoot 'em ups. Played a bit of pinball, played a bit of Mars Attacks. Thought I was really good because I was lasting such a long time. Turns out the person before me had started a 4-player game and got bored and walked away. I finished off all of those balls. They did have a Pirates of the Caribbean there, and I would have liked to have played that as well, but almost everything that you played there, arcade machines and anything popular, arcade machines and pinball were popular. You could generally walk up and play most of the console games if you wanted to, but anything popular you had to stand behind someone until they finished, and people were really good that they would notice, they would clock if you were standing behind them, and then they'd finish their game and wave you on, and then you would get to play. The common decency of everybody really shone through there. We played a bit of Counter-Strike. As I said, that was fun. Counter-Strike is one of those games where you need your setup all dialed in, and if you're playing on someone else's setup or a generic setup, it doesn't feel right. You need to tweak it. And you need your shortcut keys. You need your shortcut keys set up as well for buying and that kind of thing. But all in all, I had a great day. I'm not sure I'll be back to Blackpool again because it's such a long way for me. I think it was one of these things I had to do once, but I don't think I'll be a regular there because it's a lot of effort, and I don't like being so far away from home. That doesn't make me feel very comfortable. So anyway, thank you Blackpool for being so accommodating. Thank you to my friends and everybody that came up and said hello. I got to shake the hands of lots of lovely people. Right at the end, just as I was walking out, one guy said, "Hey Lee, I like your channel," and shook his hand. He said, "I'm Peter from ZX for New." That was really nice to meet him. I've had correspondence with him in the past, and I've bought lots of his stuff off his shop. So yeah, it was really, really nice, and I really appreciate everybody that did come up and say hello. There's not going to be a workshop bit after this. I think I'm going to finish the video here. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you had a nice little nose around Blackpool and the other bits of it, and the Norbreck Castle. I'm looking forward to going to the next event much closer to home. Oh, look at this view. Gorgeous part of the country. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. See ya. I swear I've seen this truck before. Oh, maybe not. I think it was an all-in-one. Maybe not. Got excited then.